Arrange your space, a guide to successful classroom arrangement. In this presentation, the learner will be able to demonstrate an understanding of room arrangement following the ERS guidelines. So the first thing when we arrange our classrooms, we want to make sure that we are doing active supervision at all times. So we must minimize blind spots and ensure that the furniture is the appropriate size and height for the children of our age group. We have to ensure that the children are visible at all times so that they're not behind any shelving, or if you have a pillar in your classroom, we just want to make sure that we're arranging the furniture so that there's no blind spots, and to keep all exits clear. So that's very important in case there's an emergency that we can get clearly to the exit. So where should the other centers go? Well, we need to keep loud centers together. So the loud centers such as dramatic play, blocks, music area, they can all be placed near one another. Quiet areas such as the library, the cozy cube or corner, the listening center, they can be placed next to each other because this is areas where the children do more quiet play, or maybe they're having some time to themselves in the cozy area. So to keep the loud and the quiet away from one another, we use what we call buffer centers. So the centers that could go in between. So this might be your writing, your science, your manipulatives. And then certain areas need to be by the sink. So sand and water and art area are nice centers to be by the sink because we could do easy cleanup for those areas, or hand washing. In an infant room, the changing table must be by the sink. There's 2 sinks in the infant room. One is for food prep to clean the bottles and the mouth toys, and then the other one is for hand washing. There also should be 2 trash cans in the infant room, one for diaper use and then one for waste use. Cribs should be placed 3 inches apart, and there must be a refrigerator, a rocking chair, soft items, and space for tummy time. In the toddler room, the changing table must also be by the sink and have 2 trash cans, so one for diapers and one for waste use. By the door. So in every classroom, the cubbies should be placed by the door for easy access to personal items. So we don't want to interrupt the learning areas. We want to keep it right where it's easily accessible. So as soon as you come into the classroom, the children will be able to put their personal belongings away. And then also by the door, we want to have our emergency plan, our fire evacuation plan, our child emergency plan, our building blueprint for safe exit, and the shelter in place, all posted by the door. Next is the family information board. So this is where when families were coming into the building, I know right now we're going through COVID, but when families were coming into the building, they would often use these boards in the classroom to find the information. So it's still important that we have the information up. So on this board, you should have your lesson plan, your daily schedule that reflects from opening to close of the academy, the menu, the cup of milk, the school calendar or the academy calendar, and any academy announcements. In addition to that, you have a teacher board. So on the teacher board, we have our active supervision plan, the staff schedule, the curriculum timeline, the weather watch, the academy calendar, the out of office protocol, the escort list, which should be covered for confidentiality, the special needs list, which is also covered for confidentiality, the caregiver list, first aid emergency care, transportation plan, and the substitute folder. It's very important that we label everything in the classroom. So every center must be labeled. So meaning we have a sign for block area or dramatic play or science. In addition to that, all the items within each center should be labeled with picture and word. So just like in the picture we see here, we see the picture and the word together. And then also if we have English learning students in our classroom, maybe we want to post labels within their native language as well as in English so that we can expose them to both. So must-have items within the classroom would be multicultural items. Maybe in dramatic play, we have different types of foods from different cultures. There's little people figures that we use in block area. Maybe there's different people of age groups or abilities. We can have a range of different types of animals. So maybe we have some sea animals, some safari animals, or farm animals. And then also in our books too, we want to make sure that we have a variety of different types of books that we're reflecting different type of people, cultures, ages, abilities. We just want to have a variety of everything in every center. So here is a material checklist to have in each center. So when we're looking at fine motor, in the manipulative area, we want to have blocks that connect to one another, or maybe some sewing cards, or the pegs with the pegboard. And then in art area, we would like to have a variety of materials for the children to make collages or 3D art, and having different type of drawing materials such as crayons and colored pencils and markers. In music area, maybe we want to have different types of CDs and different types of music, and props for them to use to dance with, such as scarves. In block area, we can have different types of blocks. So maybe we have wooden blocks, foam blocks, the hollow blocks, having them at different sizes and shapes. In sand and water area, having those different kinds of buckets and shovels and floating toys. And then in science, having living things such as plants, and having things that encourage the children to explore, such as magnifying glasses or magnets. The list continues. So in cozy area, maybe we're going to have some soft items in there, such as puppets, or maybe even putting some books in there. And then in library, having books about multiple cultures and diverse abilities, science, animals, people, factual, and fantasy. And then in dramatic play, having different types of dress up clothes. So maybe there'll be work uniforms or different props, such as housekeeping props, multicultural dolls and food, stuffed animals, doll strollers. So just having a variety of items for the children to pick and choose to play with.